It's been a long time coming, guys. Now, the wait is finally over. Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome back to the Sorcerer Mickey Fan Guide channel for a brand new toy review. Today, we're going to be diving right back into the Lego Star Wars line, where we review set number 75370, the classic Imperial Stormtrooper Mech. Now, this is one of the first few Star Wars mechs that came out in August 2023, alongside the Darth Vader and Boba Fett mechs I reviewed last year. So, if you haven't seen my review on those two Star Wars mechs, I'll be sure to leave the links to their reviews in the description below. Now, I was originally supposed to review this set after the Darth Vader and Boba Fett mechs, but because of my time schedule with constraints and other busy stuff I had to deal with back then, I didn't really have time to squeeze in my review on the Stormtrooper mech. So, for those of you who were awaiting for me to review it last year, now, your wish has been finally fulfilled for once and for all. So, if you're new to the channel and enjoyed this type of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell icon for more awesome videos like this. Anyways, I think it's about time we get into the box because I'm pretty sure a lot of you have been eagerly waiting for me to review this. Now, starting off with the front, we have an epic picture of the classic Stormtrooper mech in his very cool robotic mech suit with the blaster. And then on the top, we have the Lego Star Wars logo. This is for ages 6 and up. It tells you that there's one Stormtrooper minifigure in this set. I like the space background, by the way, I will admit. Here's one side with a picture of the Stormtrooper in his mech. And here is the top. And here is the other side with some warnings. And here is the back that shows you the Stormtrooper outside of his mech. And it also tells you you can launch the blaster. And it also shows you the Darth Vader and Boba Fett mechs I mentioned a little bit earlier. So, yeah. And here is the bottom with the UPC. Now it's about time we crack this set open. Alright guys, so here is everything out of the box. So basically we get 3 numbered bags from 1 to 3. And an instruction booklet. Without further ado, let's get into building. Okay guys, so I just finished building the Stormtrooper mech set. It took me about 20 minutes to put it all together. So first up, we'll have a look at the Stormtrooper minifigure, and then the actual mech itself. Okay, so here is our Imperial Stormtrooper minifigure we get in this set. And I'm sure it's no surprise to you when I say that this minifigure is literally almost about the same level as the Captain Rex minifigure in the Captain Rex Microfighter set. If you haven't seen my review on that set, I'll be sure to leave a link to that video in the description below. Now moving back onto the Stormtrooper himself, he looks phenomenal. I love the glossy white they gave to the helmet, and the details on the front and the sides and the back are just so incredible. It gives all of the classic Star Wars vibes that we all grew up to know and love with. And then, if we take off the helmet, we can see the actual person inside the Stormtrooper armor. And it's actually a woman, not a male. Not exactly what I expected the Stormtrooper guy inside the armor to be, but okay. I'm pretty surprised that it's a woman inside and not a male. But she looks pretty fierce. I will admit, I do like that expression. And there's no side expression on the back of the head, which is a bit disappointing. But other than that, I still think the helmet is so incredible. Then moving down to the body, we get more of that glossy white, and the sheer amount of detail they gave to the armor, just wow. And then for the arms, they're pretty basic, just plain white, no details on it. Then for the back, we have some of the equipment on the Stormtrooper, which is very cool. Those details are so well printed. And then for the legs, it's pretty simple. We just get the Stormtrooper armor legs, and that's pretty much it. The sides and the back of the legs are nothing too special. And then the only accessory that the Stormtrooper has is a simple blaster, which you can put in either hand. Yep, just like that. That is pretty much all there is to say about the Imperial Stormtrooper minifigure, and I really like this one. And now on to the main attraction of the set, the Stormtrooper Mech. Now this Stormtrooper Mech looks absolutely phenomenal. So here is the front with the little Stormtrooper symbol, which I think looks pretty cool. And that's the little door here to open and close to fit the Imperial Stormtrooper inside. We'll get into that detail later. And all around, it looks great. The arms, they look so cool. I love the armor that they gave to it to make it look kind of muscular. And then for the right arm, which you see right here, it's holding the little blaster, which you can rotate and launch the little lasers. And then for the left arm, it's pretty simple. We get that incredible muscular armor. And then we've got the hands. They just look so cool. Even though the color palette is kind of basic with black and white and gray, it still looks great. And then on the torso, we get these little clippings here, which I believe it might be for the Stormtrooper's blaster to store. But I don't know, we'll see when we get on later on in this review. For the legs, they look very muscular, I will admit. They look so darn cool. I love those muscular parts of the armor. It just makes him look very strong, I will say. And then here are the knees. And then here are his feet. That is pretty simple, but they do have a great structure. And here is the bottom with just plain black. And that is pretty much all there is to offer on the Stormtrooper Mech's details. And then this is the back of its body with nothing too special. I do kind of wish they added a bit more white to it. Like, for example, just literally get the equipment parts on the back side of the Stormtrooper, or maybe even a little bit of detailing on the back. It would just look so much better if they added those details, in my opinion. But it still is a phenomenal mech overall, so let's go over its articulation. So the articulation on the Stormtrooper Mech is pretty simple. So we get a ball jointed arm that rotates literally 360 degrees, and then we can lift them up to a full T pose. This is the max of how far you can lift them up because of the armor getting in the way. But you can tilt them side to side for better range, which is pretty cool. No elbow joint, which is a bit of a shame. But the 3 fingers on each hand do swing up and down. So you can just, get it to a fist or an open hand or whatsoever. No waist swivel, but the legs do kick forward about this far. And then back about this far. You can only lift the legs about this far because of the muscular armor and these little clippings getting in the way. Then there's no knee joint. But the feet do go up and down, rotate, and do the ankle pivot pretty well. And yeah, although the articulation is pretty basic for this one, like the other mechs, it's still a great mech all around. Now that we've gone through all the details and articulation on the Stormtrooper Mech, let's get on to the play features. So play feature number 1 is you can put the Stormtrooper inside the mech. Basically what you do, just open the door, and then we're going to slot the Stormtrooper inside, just like so. We're just going to plug it in, slide him in like so, and then just close the door. And now the Stormtrooper is ready in action. Then on to play feature number 2 is that there are some clippings around the belt. One on the left and one on the right. And essentially it's actually meant to plug in the Stormtrooper blaster that comes with this set. So this is the Stormtrooper blaster, and we're just going to plug it in like so. Wait till you hear a click. And there we go. It looks kind of weird, but it does work, and I think that's pretty cool that you can store the blaster on the side of the mech. Then to play feature number 3, we have the blaster. So the blaster does rotate all the way around a full 360 degrees. And then this little thing here kind of rotates as well. And then we get this little cannon here to fit these red laser cannons to be exact. And we're just going to plug one in like so. And then we're just going to launch him. And there we go. Well, guys, that about wraps up my review on the Lego Stormtrooper Mech set. If you enjoyed my review on it, please consider hitting the subscribe button and also hit the bell icon. And all around, I think this is a really awesome Star Wars set, and it goes so well with the Darth Vader mech, as you can see here. So, I thank you all so much for tuning in into this long-awaited review, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.